welcome family. This is the Velvet Locs with another video. Now this video is going to be actually a tutorial video, and what I'm going to be doing today is attaching an extension on my locks. Okay, now these are some of the ways that I recreate my locks whenever I am making little baby locks in between my locks. When I combine my locks, usually after combining them and they attach themselves onto the other lock and they're solid, I usually like to cut off one of the heads. Okay, we call those two-headed dragons. So usually when I combine a lock and it really gets strong and thick at the root, I like to use that extra head, that extra lock that's attached. I like to recreate that as an extension. So if I don't actually make my extensions, which I do sometimes, I'll make my own lock extensions. But when I don't feel like doing that, I'll use an extension, a piece that I cut off from another lock, such as these. Okay, these are some of the extensions, some of the locks that I took off after combining and then cutting them off. Now I have quite a few up here throughout my locks that I am about to attach. Okay, this is one. Right now I have 3 of them, and then there's one somewhere up here, well, one here that I want to attach. I also want to attach the ones that I created in the front. All right, so I'm going to show you how I attach my locks. The easiest form for me is a needle and thread. Okay, needle and thread method. All right, so if you're not sure how to attach it, I have a video up which is probably due for an update, so this will be the update video of me showing you how I attach my locks. All right, so you just get the right amount of string that you're gonna need. Now I've made mistakes in the past and I've used weave thread, and I would not do that again because that does not bleach, that does not take color, and it shows up in your locks. You know, you can see the threading because the black just stays black. All right, so I'm going to thread this and then come back to you after when I'm ready. Okay, see you soon. Okay, so I have my needle thread. Okay, nicely threaded. Now, okay, let's see which lock I'm going to start with. Now, being that this is in the back, I'm going to try to attach the longest lock pieces that I have, and I'm going to attach those to the back, so this way it's not so short. Okay, so most likely I'll attach this longest one on to that piece. Okay. All right. Now, the way I do it, I'm going to pull you in a little closer. Okay, so what I do now? All right, now this is actually not really a great lock to do because it is still curly and unsealed at the end. Although this part is locking, I can still use that. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do because this is actually the longest lock and I do want it to go well. Now there's several ways that you can actually attach the lock onto each other, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start and just put it side by side. That's the strongest part of the lock, which is in the middle. Okay, and I'm just going to go in and out of the lock until it's actually attached. And you just keep going back and forth, in and out of the lock, through one lock and back out the other side of the lock, or should I say of the other lock in the back. So this way you're actually going through each lock and you're kind of like pulling them towards each other as you pull the string, you're attaching that lock to each other. Now I like to use the black string only because it's easier to camouflage when you use a dark colored string, or should I say thread. Only problem with the black thread, it does not take to color, so it may bleach out and it will leave you with like a brownish looking color. But preferably it's best that you use regular sewing thread and not weave thread, because that is so thick, unless you got really thick locks, and I don't, so this is perfect for me. And what I do is I just keep going back and forth all the way down until I get to the end of my lock. Okay, and I just have this little piece left to go. Now when you're ready to actually stop sewing, I usually try to make my little knot. Okay, I'll just take my thread, wrap it around a couple of times, just like you would make a knot in a stitch when you're stitching a fabric or so. When you want to finish that finish that stitch, you usually put your little knots in there, and that's the same way I do it when I am combining my locks. So any loose pieces of thread that's still hanging around, you can trim those off. And being that I have that little piece of hair still sticking out, I usually just like to wrap it. Okay, wrap it around that lock. Okay, and there you go, you guys. Simple and easy, and you can't even really see any type of threading to show that this is not an attached lock. This looks like it just grew out of your head. Okay, so that's the natural way that I usually like to attach my locks. I usually like to use my own hair from another lock that I've combined and use that as an extension. Now I'm going to do one more, and probably this, no, I'm going to try to do one of the ones in the front. Now I'm going to use one of these locks in the front. Okay, this is a shorter one. All right, and I'm going to use it on the lock that I have right up front at my hairline, because it is a small lock and this is perfect in size. Okay, and also it's a lightweight lock, which means that you don't really want to put anything heavy on that right there. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I put it right next to each other, side by side. Okay, and then I just push my thread from one lock through the end to the other side, through the other lock, and then back in and out again. Now once you get your base solid, okay, once you get your threading solid and you make your firm knot, okay, once you create a nice sturdy sealed knot, then you continue going in and out all the way down through one lock and out the other, attaching them tightly together. So now that's exactly what I'm doing. In and out. Okay. You clip off all your loose strings, all your loose threading. And that's it. That's how it looks, you guys. And that's how I attach my locks onto my hair. Alright, you guys, so that's it. Simple and easy. And I'm going to go through the rest of my hair and finish attaching my locks. Another way you can actually attach them together is you can actually, like these two I combine and I put a little knot at the end of it just so that I remember I have to do work on this lock. But you can also just sew it all the way down as well. Yeah, okay. That's another way you can actually combine your locks. Well, alright, so this is actually a lock extension tutorial of how to attach or even reattach your locks back on if you've already cut them off and you want to reattach them. That is one easy way for you to reattach your locks, and that's simply by stitching them together. Okay, well, hopefully this tutorial was very easy for those of you who are possibly thinking of putting extensions on your baby locks. Well, these are easy ways to do it, and I'm glad it's using my own hair because of the weight of my hair. It matches the baby lock and it would not be too heavy. So keep that in mind when you're putting extensions onto your hair. Make sure that it is you know, within a good amount of sizing, but not too big for that lock and the parting ratio, because then you are actually wearing your lock out, and you actually can pull the lock out if you're not careful. And if you don't, you know, if you put a heavy lock on, it can pull out your lock. So keep that in mind, you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna finish doing my hair and I will see you in another video. Hey fam, where you going? You didn't subscribe yet. Well, listen, first of all, before you go, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget also to turn on that notification bell, so this way you will not miss another one of my videos. Okay, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, click it, and then hit that little bell and make sure that it's lit. You will miss out on so much if you don't hit that subscribe button, and also hit that bell next to it. make sure that it's turned on, so this way when I upload another video, you will not miss it at all, okay? You will be the first to know. So don't forget, give me those likes, thumbs up, and hit that subscribe button along with the bell at the bottom, and you will always know when I upload another one of these videos, okay? So I'll see you in the next video.